Hey guys, how are you? So, I missed Monday, but listen, I'm here on Tuesday and I hope you're doing well. I'm kind of fighting the funk. I've got some respiratory things going on, but it's all good. You know, viral things are just the way of the cycles. Um, and we have all the good medicinals to do what it needs to do. So it's all good. Um, I think we all might kind of notice that our bodies definitely want to take a little bit of a slowdown. Um, and I know that I think sometimes, especially with so many planets in retrograde, which again, as your local astrologer, I will tell you, is not as abnormal as it is sensationalized to be. Um, but we Mercury, everybody's like, woo, child, Mercury going direct. Okay. But I know that sometimes we also have what we call the post shadow. So, excuse me, I'm be drinking a lot of water. But so I'm saying it depends on you energetically and it depends on various things, right? But sometimes, it's kind of like everybody over here talking about, "Ooh, girl, I got this burst of energy. I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. I'm so excited. Mercury is direct." Woo. Right? And then sometimes you're like, "Where is that at? I'm not feeling that." That's me this week. Well, I know a lot of that is due to the fact that, my body's doing dealing with the respiratory and the sinus infection things, so it's all good. But I'm just saying, if everyone around you's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this burst of energy, yada yada. Love that for you. But if you're not feeling that, it's okay. It's like Mercury going direct, this energy can sometimes, it's kind of like cranking the car back up and the gears are like, choo, 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 choo. So Spirit is showing me. And it's like, okay, can we crank it? Can we crank it? So don't be too hard on yourself. Can we just not, don't be too hard on yourself anyway, right? It's all good. Let's be disciplined. Okay, if this isn't Virgo energy, right? Well, I sound like your next door neighbor who's a Virgo, okay? Let's be disciplined where we need to and take good care of our health and our body, our mental health, all the new things that we are integrating. That Mercury retrograde, and Mercury's in, is Mercury still in Virgo? Yeah, so we're still bringing down, I don't have that in front of me, but we're still bringing down, we're circulating from the, am I saying limbic? No, from the, ooh, see, my brain is foggy, y'all, bless. Not the lymph system, the limbic system. Wow, I'm totally brain farting. Look, mentally, okay, from the crown chakra through the brain down into the different body, emotional bodies, auric bodies, we're still circulating all of these upgrades, and we're doing, this is what Virgo season does. We've talked about this, yes. Okay, so it's okay. Let it do what it does. This is the spirit, like, this is my mantra for the week. Let it do what it does. Okay, let's not. Um, it's good. It's a beautiful week. It's a great week to, we've got a couple days kind of left to pick up, to kind of do our last little, dot our last little I's and cross our T's. Virgo season still helping us. We're going to transition into Libra season. We're also going to experience lovely autumn equinox. I think more toward, I'm sorry, y'all, more toward the end of the week, I'm going to do a video and chat with you about the autumn equinox and the energies there and what we have going on the charts for that day. But we're working up to, the autumn equinox weekend. I think if you're marking it by the poles and the equator and, the technical things, it's more the 23rd. But, on the earth-based celebrations, the pagan celebrations, the wheel of the year, it's traditionally like 21st, 22nd. So I'm saying I'm not mad at it. We'll make a whole weekend of it. I will tell you, okay, back in the day, like it used to be, we're celebrating 3 days before. The day is going to peak. Ooh, autumn equinox, 3 more days of celebration after. Look, so we're going to call it the harvest, the autumn equinox weekend. So it's a very beautiful time. Virgo season, you know, I'm going to continue to encourage, and we'll look at the week too. I don't know if I'm going to write about the week on my website this week. I've had a few people tell me that they enjoy when I do that, but I'm just very low on energy. I still have custom packages and orders to ship, and excuse me, other bookings. So anyway, y'all, I got to conserve the energy, you know. You know, your girl is tired when she didn't go to the gym. I do love to work out and be very active. I was so fortunate to get to spend some time out in nature this morning, just moving slowly. I like to, when I'm not feeling my greatest, I like to go out into the sun. And y'all already know I'm going to tell you, if you're walking outside, please take your shoes off. Please be mindful of where you're at outside when you take your shoes off. Please listen. Side note, I used to be involved in free forest school groups with children, and was always explaining to beautiful moms, parents, and people who come out to the groups and the children why we can't just go to any watershed, any, you know, river, any place there's a river is like, oh, we're going to go play because it's outside. No. Okay, so be mindful where you were at. My environmental science nerd self will come out and teach you about watershed and all the things that are going on in the water in your city. Come on, though. Love and light. Let's have some common sense. Be mindful where you're at outside is all I'm trying to say if you're going to take your shoes off. But hopefully, you know, like you are in a wild place. You are at a nice park. You are at a state park or a nature trail or a conservatory. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Listen, okay? Don't be out in the city. You know what? I will say I'll probably take my shoes off anywhere within reason, because I just, you know, fully believe that I'm a sovereign being, and we'll get into the whole energetics behind that. But okay, like, again, let's use our common sense. I digress. Listen, I want somebody talking about, let me send you a picture of where I took my shoes off at, and I'll be like, oh no. Anyway, so I hope you're doing well. And the last remainders of the energy of Virgo season, we still got a good bit of, we got our outer planet group-wide retrograde going on. We're slowing out. We're out beyond the veil. We're slowing down. We're reevaluating and then going back out and beyond the veil, you know, in your dream work, in your meditation practice, whatever that looks like for you, in your journaling, in your shadow work practice. Really, till the end of the wheel of the year, and then some of these placements even into December. We're being so encouraged by spirit, the collective energy, you know, planets, our ancestors and guides are saying, sit in the liminal in-between space. And I was thinking while it was walking, and I wouldn't call it hiking because y'all, I was moving slow, but listen, it was beautiful anyway, and I'm thankful for that. But I was thinking about when we were in the first when we were in the first hold my hand, y'all, be with me in spirit through the brain fog. The eclipse portal, through the eclipse portal around spring equinox time and a little after anyway, that time frame. And I was explaining when Saturn went in Pisces, and it was like this whole time jump. It was like we were receiving, and it was kind of like this rare hybrid Aries solar eclipse. And then I remember in the charts, we had like Aries with some more Aries, and then sprinkle the Aries in the Aries. So it was all this new, trailblazing, new, you know, light, sun, solar upgrades. All of this was going on, right? So I was giving this description of like the Fool card, and he jumped off the cliff, but he was like Saturn and Pisces. It's like in a dream, you know, like when you're in quicksand, or you're trying to run in a dream when you can't move. So it was like suspension, and the Fool was ready to full on jump. And this is timeline shifting. This is changing your vibration, your frequency, your experience of reality. but it was like a suspension. And I was explaining this whole, how it felt like the other versions of the Fool. Okay. Think of the hologram, like, you move and then 50,000 other multiverse versions of you, it's like, you get the visual. So this Fool, it was like all of himself was trying to catch back up to himself. And so we had this work to do in the summer to like receive all of these codes and receive a lot of things to help us catch up to the next. I literally still have dirt on my hands from being outside, y'all. Grounding is very healing to me. So I was like sitting in the ground a lot of times, like I'll rub the soil and stuff, just to get in touch with the earth. And do you ever think sometimes like we're totally these people, if you feel me, like I think of how I was out and I stopped somewhere and like got a water, whatever I was doing, I was like, were my hands dirty the whole time? People are like, oh, is she homeless? I'm not homeless. Oh, they were probably more dirty than that too when I was out. Listen, anyway, we're still catching up to ourselves, And I was just thinking about that earlier spring equinox time frame and all of the work that we've done now since then in our emotional bodies. So be gentle, be kind with yourself. There's so much going on energetically and not just in your body. Virgo is very much about it is in the body. It is health. And I was also thinking about how like it's really important how a lot of these integrations may want to express themselves outward now, especially in Libra season. And how so important that our body, our temple, right, is able to withhold new frequencies, new vibrations is what I was thinking. It's like I was thinking about how spiritual swimming is kind of like having an old cell phone, and you can only upgrade it so far, and you're trying to run a new service through it. You know what I mean? So let's also definitely be sure that we're mindful about our bodies, what we're literally putting in our bodies. How are we hydrating? What are we eating? And we could go off into whole other side topics about that alone, to make sure you have good cellular support in your body, with water, with different biomaterial. I mean, okay, look, I'm not going to preach at you about diets here, but I'm just saying take good care of your body so that what you've worked really hard to heal, to clear, and then new energy to come in right into the vessel. Spirit is pouring into the vessel. You want to be able to do something with that, right? So you need to have good wetware in the body. You need to have good, you know what I'm saying? And so if we're still practicing certain patterns, but then trying to expect new, I don't want to say manifestations, new creations, new timelines. And we're like, why isn't this happening for me? But maybe there are habits that have to do with our body when it comes to maybe taking care of your body, exercising your body. Again, what are you eating? What do you sit and mindlessly watch? Like, what are you staring at on your phone? What are you reading about? All these different habits we have to evaluate. But specifically, again, Virgo's with the body. How do you nourish your body? What kind of, practices do you have with food? And look, we could do a whole nother video, hello from the South, okay, about trauma and attachment to, or Spirit is saying how we were shown, maybe by mothers who weren't damn near able to bless their hearts, love and light, okay, they weren't able to emotionally regulate, let alone show somebody else how to do it, and just all these attachments to food and certain comforts and things. So let's be mindful about how we're taking care of our body. And sometimes we can find markers in some of those habits about where maybe there's trauma attached to that, or shadow work that needs to be done there. And then when we know better, we do better, right? So that we have a good, healthy, updated, good running, vessel, a temple for all these new things that want to come in and then move out, right? So let me see. Today's Tuesday's the 19th. I'm just scrolling through the charts. There was a note that I made. Was it Thursday? Yeah, so I think it's interesting that we have these asteroid goddesses doing these trines with Chiron this week. It's interesting, leading up to the autumn equinox. I think technically when we have the autumn equinox, it'll be Libra season. But anyway, we have, is it Thursday? Thursday, we have Chiron in Aries retrograde, of course, is going to trine Juno in Leo. So Juno, well, you know, Chiron is your wounded healer. That is also an asteroid body. I do offer readings, and I've done those probably already with some of you, where we look at your Chiron placements. We look at your north and south nodes, and it helps a lot with marker points and shadow work and wound healing. And yes, I'm always going to bring it back to healing, wound work, shadow work, the inner child, because those are the places that allow tricky energetic cords, things that want to pull on us to harvest energy in this inverted matrix system that we want to evolve up and out of. But we've got to be able to do the shadow healing wound work. But I do work with Chiron placements. I do work with North and South Node. I like to combine those two because Chiron is your wounded healer. So when it comes to asteroid, you can call them the asteroid goddesses. You know, a lot of people do. Juno is kind of like partnership and marriage. So it's very interesting to explore this placement, considering we're going to move into Libra season. Because Libra season is a lot about me with myself versus the balance and harmony of how I interact with other people. It is about that energetic justice of emotional contracts. You could say karma, if you subscribe to that. And right, so it's interesting to be considering that Juno, who is the goddess of partnership and marriage. So we've got this aspect, again, Chiron retrograde in Aries will trine Juno in Leo. This is going to be on Thursday. So we've got this, it's an energy of like a deep healing in relationships. And it could be romantic. It could be partnerships. It could be your business. It could be, and I teach people in one-on-one work all the time. You know, soulmate contracts aren't just always romantic. This can happen within the family. This can happen like, oh, my sister is just my best friend from the day that we were born, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? This could happen with, oh, I've worked with this coworker for like 15 years. You get it. It's not always we immediately, because of like sensationalization, sensationalizing in media and all these things. Oh, it's romantic, because that can whip you into some toxic shit real quick. But yeah, it's partnerships, right? And definitely I will say Juno is big about marriage as well, if you read into the stories about Juno. But you can set the tone to intentionally reflect on healing and relationships. And whatever that means for you on your own path and your own journey, working with this Chiron retrograde and Aries energy. Because there's another trine, and I'll point that out to you. I think it involves Venus. So if you'll note though, I was going to say too, like, you're like, yeah, but I'm not really in a romantic relationship. I mean, there's not really like a partnership that's sticking out to me. This can also be on a deeper level of your own soul work. It can be you with you, your own inner divine masculine, divine feminine, and working in balance and harmony, and notes of healing or notes of personal growth that you can explore there. Now note Chiron and Juno, they're both in fire signs, right? Chiron's in Aries, Juno's in Leo. So it's showing up and authentically expressing yourself when you are considering, how can I heal this wound in a relationship? How can I heal the wounded spots between my divine masculine, divine feminine, right? And how can I go about it in a creative way? And it could also literally be like channeling what Spirit is saying, like channeling through creativity can bring a lot of healing. So you may consider that as well. But yeah, what kind of, again, partnership or relationship is going to be different for everyone. And what was this other placement that I was noticing? Was it Saturday? Yes. And then also on Saturday, Venus, who is still in Leo, again, fire sign, will also trine Chiron and Aries in retrograde. So you've got the goddess of love and beauty, and the wounded healer. So it's kind of interesting we're talking about this trine, because in my own personal work, I was working with the sacred geometry and I still had this laying out. Forgot to put it away. It's the Heart Taurus. Very beautiful card. Maybe we'll read this before we close the video today. Because it's a very Venus trining Chiron is like heart healing, you know? And again, it points to deep potential in healing in some sort of relationship. But again, you know, I'll always tell you when it comes to Venus at its in its deepest, most spiritual way is about self-love and self-worth first, before we go out and find that love in any other sensual place that's outside of ourselves. Right? Again, both of these are still in fire signs. So we've got passion, we've got creativity. Spirit is like, express yourself. I can't sing it today, y'all. My voice is so. You may find yourself being like, I've had a big revelation inside of my heart, and this may be relationship me with me, divine masculine, divine feminine, my own inner polarities, right? I'm my own soulmate first. I'm my own other half first. Okay, don't get me started. But listen, this may be within yourself in relation to your heart chakra. And again, Juno and Leo, Venus and Leo. Leo energy is very much the beautiful, abundant, shining inner child who is restored, who is whole. You know, we were talking about this in Leo season, enter the kingdom through the eyes of a little child. Yes. So Leo season, when we were bringing all this light and all these things and all these keys and codes, we were bringing them back down through the heart chakra. We were talking about inner child healing. So this can also be epiphanies and oh shit, you know what? I love myself because I realize that I am worth X, Y, and Z, and maybe it's time for me. It can be like a big, I don't know, I want to say big self-expression, but maybe is like something you need to say in a relationship. But it could also manifest, or it could come out in such a way this week leading up to the equinox. It's like, I just needed to fucking look in the mirror and finally say this to myself. And this time it really resonated on a deep energetic healing level. You know, maybe I've been working on something for some time, and now I said it to myself and it changed something in me. It can be that energy as well, but it may be needing to express yourself in a relationship. Again, could be a soulmate, could be best friend, could be romantic, could be business or creative relationships, you know, where you're in a business or some sort of partnership together. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I'm reading my notes. Oh, yes. You know what? I was going to mention as well, coming back around to this trine, Venus and Leo trine, Chiron and Aries retrograde, is that this has been a sequence or a series of 3 during Venus's retrograde journey. So you can even take this back to like June. I think the end of June would have been the first time frame, and then like mid-August, and then now is the like 3rd and final trine. Again, heart healing, self-love, self-worth. You could even say connection to the feminine, you know, a feminine aspect of you that needed healing. I can relate to that too. So you know what, Spirit is, I'm thinking a lot of times you think, well, I'm a woman. So yeah, duh, feminine. But sometimes, and I explain this when I do one-on-one work with people, is that you can actually be a very, energetically masculine, feminine, so sometimes there does need to be rebalancing of those dynamics within your own energy. You may have so many placements energetically that are very masculine, and I relate to that because I do actually. And so it may be a message of, I need to balance out and honor my own feminine in this heart healing work. A lot of times, leaning back, I'm saying from my own personal experience and my own energies, I have a ton of air and fire. It's very masculine. And sometimes that's going to be my go-to when I need to protect myself, or my go-to when I feel wounded, or my go-to when I feel triggered or provoked. I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to immediately go into that masculine energy in me, excuse me, you guys. Excuse me. See, we gonna be all right though. I got all the elderberry syrup. I'm usually like that woman. I'm hustling it to all my friends, my family. Like, I got my cardigan over here, and I'm like, hey, I got that elderberry syrup. I haven't made any big batches yet this season though. Goodness gracious, I've just been wrapped up in this gorgeous energy of making these beautiful candles and oils, and I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, I would definitely, that is what I'm super drawn to, these trines to Chiron retrograde in Aries. Again, that's Juno in Leo. And then that's also Venus in Leo. So I think there's a huge potential for beautiful heart healing, for a lot of dynamics around self-love, dynamics around self-worth, dynamics around relationships to bring healing this week. And then we're also, we're also working up towards the lovely autumn equinox weekend. Damn, if I have not said it enough times, I just really think, it's so important to just slow down this week. I was saying that last week too, but honestly, the way that society and marketing and everything, would have us be completely exhausted. When we slow down, we reflect on when we eat. When we slow down, we think about our health. When we slow down, we realize we don't need as much as they tell us that we need, and that everything is actually really okay. And then when we slow down, Spirit is saying, like, our breath reconnects with the breath of the earth. And when we slow down, we heal and we regulate our nervous systems and we reconnect with each other. So that's the opposite of everything this system is set up to design to have you to do. Right? Slow down, practicing gratitude and just giving thanks this week, really. Sorry, guys, I had to pause you. Had a delivery. My dog was going crazy. Heart Taurus. Ooh, yeah. I want to grab the book. And then I'm also going to pull at least one card for us. Hold on one second, guys. All right. So this is the Sacred Geometry. I work with this deck all the time. I really believe, who is it? Francine Hart. Yes. I really believe that even just looking at the images, putting them in your sacred space, tucking them away in your journal, taking one on about you wherever you got to go for the day. It's like having a gemstone with you. I think it's very powerful, just the imagery alone. So I love working with this deck. Usually when I pull one of these cards as well, I'll just have it sitting out for some time just to let the energy resonate in the space. All right, so I'm going to read from the book to you guys. Heart Taurus, Intelligence of the Heart. The Taurus is a piece of sacred geometry that when viewed as three-dimensional looks rather like a donut. Okay, I'm not mad at that. The human heart has 7 muscles that form a torus, and it is the shape of the Earth's magnetic field. This toroidal energy connects you with the intelligence of your heart and asks you to become conscious of the effect emotions have on your ability to experience life wholly. This makes sense too, because let me pause, because we've been talking so much throughout this year about 2023 is a year of the Chariots, a year of 7. I'm doing all this work to recover the divine inheritance so that we can get the keys, to drive the vehicle. We're driving our Merkaba, so we're clearing our emotional waters in our body so that we can rebirth our divine inheritance. Yes, okay, yes. It made me think of that when it said, ask you to become conscious of the effect emotions have on your ability to experience life wholly. Emotions open your heart and can lead to a deeper connection with self and others, allowing you to feel more at peace and in balance. Emotions can also baffle your intellect and stir up confusion. Integrating head and heart, mind and emotions is the expression and function of the intelligence of your heart. Meditate with the heart, Taurus. Sit within its dynamic movement and really feel its vitality as you knowingly connect with your heart. Consciously experience the emotions that arise. Bless what you are feeling and ask how this may inform you what is occurring in your life today. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for your human ability to experience emotions. Honor the intelligence of your heart. That's beautiful. And having gratitude for our emotions, because we are, there's so many celebrations and practices. And again, we're talking about the wheel of the year, people who are following the movements of the moon, the harvest seasons, all this. The end of September and the autumn equinox, a lot of this, oh man, we'll talk about that more in the autumn equinox video. But with these 2 trines that we've discussed and this heart healing, I think it's interesting, and a lot of those in relationship to, we've talked about relationships, emotional contracts, as I would say sometimes, soulmates, dare I use the twin flame term, don't make it toxic, go on now. But yeah, it totally makes sense to me. It's like sitting with gratitude for everything that you have felt that has brought you up to this point through this year, through multiple cycles. We were talking about the set of 3s with the Venus trining Chiron and Aries. Maybe from like the end of June until now, maybe for the entire year. Maybe this is like, we've been working on this. Me and my team been working on this for multiple years, if not a decade, okay? Because I don't know about you, that's me, though. I mean, that's me. But it is thanking, I don't know, Spirit is just saying the experience, because you got to feel it to heal it. And if you can't even get out what it is that you're feeling, in regards to your self-worth, in regards to love and relationships. And then we're going to also transition into Libra season, which has to do a lot with relationships. And then let me also point out to you as well, the North and South nodes shifted and we changed from Taurus Scorpio to Aries Libra. So for the next 18 months, we're going to have the Aries Libra North and South node energy. So it really is a good time, especially again, leading up to this autumn equinox weekend, to consider, the journey, the experience of what you felt and what it's taught you about yourself. Because I'm going to tell you what, and I say this to people all the time. Let me shuffle from this deck because I do want to at least pull one card. I say this to people, again, all the time in one-on-one work is, there's a lot of things. It's like, oh, I'm so spiritual. Yeah, I'm a spiritual person. I mock myself, okay? So don't get in an uproar. But it's like, I'm so spiritual, and you go through your day. But there is nothing like the mirror of a relationship, whether it's a soulmate, whether it's a karmic contract, whether it's something that we agree, you know what I mean? Twin flame, whatever kind of title you want to put on it. That mirror there, that experience there, that's what's really going to teach you. You've been journaling, you've been meditating, you got some gemstones, yeah, love that for you, it's real cute. But what I'm going to do is put you in front of this person here, and you can't control what comes out of their mouth, and then they have all these different traumas, and they, you know what I mean? That's a divine lesson teacher right there, for sure. All right, Spirit, let's see. Oh, what do we have that's falling out? Hold on, a bunch of cards fell out. I'm just going to take what's on the bottom. So what we have is the Page of Cups, which I think is a beautiful card to come out with the Heart Taurus. Because at its core, okay, look, people can take it at a real basic level and say, oh, Page of Cups, oh, somebody's going to try to be, oh, so-and-so is in a cup. He wants to give you a cup. She wants to give, someone's thinking about you. They want to, and that could very well be true. But look, at its core level, the Page of Cups is all about just opening up and having a joyful heart again. I always tell people that this cup is about romancing life. What is it? I think Chris Ann, who created this deck, said something about, oh, there's actually a flying pig on it. I totally forgot about that, but it was something about, oh yeah, sure, when pigs fly type of vibe with the Page of Cups. But the Page of Cups is an energy that's like, I refuse to let, along with the Heart Taurus here is perfect. You know what? Look, if I got to be present and have a perception of reality, okay, I mean, I guess I could just spiritually bypass and tap out and just be in less, but that's not what we're doing here. If you're here, that's not what you're trying to do. The Page of Cups says, why not go out and make something magical out of my perspective today? Why not go out and make something romantic? And romantic could be, of course, romance with someone else, but it's allowing me to like romance my life, to romance myself. Where's the magic in today? You know what? Look, grab your gemstone bracelet and wear it and believe everything that has to do with it. And don't let nobody tell you different. And look for the butterflies when you walk on the trail. If you had to go to work today, you can go outside. Let the sun shine on your face and do a little walk around. Who cares? There might be beautiful rose bushes outside the office. Spirit is saying you don't even know they're there. You can make romance of your life. You can romance the magic in every day. And that's what it means, really, to kind of allow your heart to be open, to believe in things that are beautiful and magical and poetic, because it's you with yourself in this universe. So you're going to get back what it is that you're looking for out there. But it's also, the Page of Cups is very childlike. And then we have these Leo placements that we were just talking about. And so it's the idea of kind of letting your heart reopen again, trusting your intuition, letting your emotions come out, choosing to be a little bit childlike, be creative. It's like playing. This is also a powerful practice for heart healing as well. Rituals are very powerful, but what about a ritual of creating something? Or what about a ritual of doing something that makes you laugh or feels joyous or is playful like a child? Because, sometimes those actions energetically have a way of cleansing and purifying and upgrading us in levels that we, Spirit is saying, undervalue a lot of times. So I think that's mainly what I want to chat about with you guys today. Love and appreciate you. Yeah, we are almost at 40 minutes and I was like, I don't even know if I can, but I'm thankful. And, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. My plan is to be here towards the end of the week and we'll chat about the autumn equinox and, take good care of yourselves. Go play. Go be outside, take your shoes off, go be in the sunshine, create something. If something's on your heart, you need to say it. Go on ahead and say that. Say that this week, okay? We don't have to be ugly either to say what we need to say. Or if you need to say something to yourself, or write that down in your journal. There's lots of different ways that you can do that with your higher self. Maybe your higher self has something to say to you. But anyway, I love and appreciate you guys as always. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay. Take care.